Before we launched on Artemis II, there was a great engineering team that came up with a really interesting way that we could come home from the moon and keep our heat shield a little bit hotter, a little bit safer for us. I grew up in Maryland. I was in the Navy for 27 years, joined NASA in 2009. I had 2 amazing missions to the space station. I'm the father of 2 girls, Ellie and Katie, and now I'm sitting here with you in Houston, Texas. Crazy. So Howard Hugh is also here with me. He's the Orion program manager. Before we launched on Artemis II, there was a great engineering team that came up with a really interesting way that we could come home from the moon and keep our heat shield a little bit hotter, a little bit safer for us. And my Orion program manager, Howard, and I, we made an agreement that if this mission went off safely, that we would both get tattoos, and we would highlight the significance of that team and this distance, which we called the horizontal target line, which at the time was 1,775 nautical miles. But as flown, it was, I can look at my arm now, 1,698.7 nautical miles. So that was the number that we agreed to get tattooed on ourselves when we got home. I don't have any tattoos. He doesn't have any tattoos. So this was kind of our way to just honor that team that did so much work to keep my crew safe. I had a few little ideas, kind of like a child has these creative ideas, and I reached out to a few different artists and I let them play with them a little bit. And then through a friend of mine, through actually a friend of my brother's, Patrick out in Seattle, he introduced me to Okan, and Okan took my design, but he also talked to me on the phone, and we really kind of built a little bit of a friendship, and he started to get to know me and got to know my crew and got to know the mission. And then he imagined this design, and when he showed me what he was thinking, I was like, I have come to the right person. This is exactly what I had in mind. Very, very simple straight lines and geometric shapes, period. It resonated with me perfectly. The idea to do this tattoo here in Space Center Houston with this backdrop really came from Okan. I wanted to go to New York to do it in his territory, in his domain, in his happy place, but he has had a lifelong dream, at least he tells me, to be an astronaut, and he wanted to be immersed in space. Right behind us is the Apollo 17 command module that Ron, Gene Cernan, and Harrison Schmidt. I know Gene and Harrison quite well. It's just very cool to be looking at that, knowing that came back from the moon. We have this backdrop behind us, and then we did it publicly, so people have been coming and going all day, and you can hear them whispering and laughing and asking for pictures. It's just been really nice. It's a very nice immersive environment. When I was a kid, I was always like, no, you can't get a tattoo. Like, this is what crazy people do. And then I just thought, you know, I'm 50 years old now, and what a way to celebrate the team that got us out to the moon and back than to do something permanent on my body. And what I love about my design the most is that it encodes the entire mission, but it also honors my crew, myself, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy. And I can always look down and I can just remember this journey that we took together.
I grew up in Seattle, Washington, went to University of Washington, and I came right here from school as an intern, and been working for NASA over 30 years. Well, Reid was the chief of the crew office, and so when I was the deputy program manager, we got a chance to engage in a lot of different ways with crew topics. And of course, the acceleration of friendship is through Artemis II. When he got named that day, it was really great, exciting. Of course, Victor, Christina, Jeremy, really great to see them as well. On that day, they got announced in April of 2023. But Reid and I have had a really great friendship over this 3 years that we've been working on this mission, and now matching tattoos. That's right. It's always Reid. Okay. I don't know how I got myself into this, but certainly, we discussed it. Like he said, it is really about honoring the team that did this work to make sure that they could return home safely on Artemis II. We talked a lot about the heat shield, a lot of concerns before the mission with the heat shield, and making sure that we had trajectories that allowed the crew return home safely. And of course they did. The heat shield and the crew module worked very well, and along with the rest of the Orion spacecraft. and I couldn't be more proud to wear this badge of honor, I would say. Well, I can't have Reid's tattoo. I didn't go to the moon, so I don't have all the numbers. My design is more about recognizing the entire Artemis Orion team, some elements of the, I would say, logos that represent Artemis and the Orion program, and that's embedded in there. And of course, 1698.7 is the horizontal target line distance that we were able to bring the crew home on, and so that also represents the team that made it happen. I would say that I understand why people get tattoos. I think it represents something very meaningful in their life, and for me, obviously this is so meaningful, and to be able to share this moment with Reid, and for us to have something that we could talk about forever, and remember the memories and what got us to today and what got us to Artemis II. Yeah, this is the distance when they re-enter the Earth's atmosphere, what we call the entry interface, or EI. That is the travel distance from where they entered at 400,000 feet to where they landed off the coast of San Diego. And that number is very meaningful is because we wanted to make sure that they were within 1,775 nautical miles was the limit by which we wanted to protect the crew from the extremities of returning back to Earth in terms of range. And so we were well under that, obviously, but that was a significant number for us before the mission. It was fantastic. I mean, to be here in this Space Center Houston with the Apollo 17 command module, I mean, you can't ask for a better scenery, to be inspired by it, but also just take away. I mean, Reid always told me, hey, let's do this. I'd go anywhere you want to go, but to do it here was just amazing.